スト翻訳始まるよ。皆さんこんにちは、花です。今日、メダリスト第8話を見ています。メダリストを見ると、フィギュアスケートに行きたくなります。すぐにやります。先週の質問は、私の好きなジャンプは何だと思いますか？答えは、ループです。今週の質問は、コメントにあります。いつも見てくれてありがとうございました。グッドボタンとチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。Now, last week I did get a comment asking about the order in which a skater will learn double jumps. This is because in the last episode, which if you haven't seen yet, go ahead and check it out, I did mention that it seemed a little bit odd that she had been working on double salchow for most of the episode and was really struggling to land it, and then at the end we jumped ahead and landed a double loop instead of a double salchow. That can happen, and I did already kind of answer it, however I wanted to give a little bit more detailed about how the double jumps are learned, and they do kind of differ from triple jumps some of the time. However, I never learned triple jumps, so I never really experienced that process, but I definitely did learn double jumps, so I am speaking from my own experience. But keep in mind, the order of double jumps, it's consistently the same. However, some skaters will prefer edge jumps over toe jumps, or toe jumps over edge jumps, or just be a little bit different, and it's really up to the coach of that specific skater of what order they should teach the jumps in. However, there is a pretty common order. The most common order is single axel, double salchow, double toe loop, double flip, double lutz, and then double axel. Now, usually when a skater is going through this journey of learning double jumps, they'll be working on double salchow, double toe loop, and double loop at the same time. Again, this is not specific to every single skater. This is a consistent way of learning. However, every skater is a little bit different. For me, I really tried to master a double salchow and a double toe loop, and then master the double loop before I moved on to flip and lutz, because there, in my opinion, as far as learning the jumps, was a big jump from loop to flip, while the jump between sow, toe, and loop was not as big. And I'm talking about like difficulty. It's kind of hard to explain, but salchow and toe loop, there's a little bit more pre-rotation on the ice before you take off, so you're still only getting usually around 1.5 rotations in the air. When you go on to loop, flip, and lutz, those three jumps, you have to get the full double rotation in the air, which makes them exceptionally more difficult. I was a skater who preferred edge jumps, so salchow and loop were my absolute favorites. I had those jumps down perfectly consistently. Every competitive program had those jumps in, while toe loop, flip, and lutz were all over the place. But that is the general order that skaters learn their jumps. But I'm really excited for today's episode. I'm interested to see what happens with Inori's skates. We did leave off on a little bit of a cliffhanger. It seemed that either someone took her bag thinking it was theirs, and now we don't know where the skates are, or it's quite possible that she left the skates on the train or somewhere, which is a skater's worst nightmare. I remember when I was competing, I would check 4 to 5 times to make sure my skates were with me, because if you forget your skates, you're not competing. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Alright, what's gonna happen with our skates? Yoga mat and backpack. Backpack has the skates in it, I'm assuming. Oh no, she didn't have her skates in her backpack, which makes sense. We don't usually carry skates in backpacks. Where did you leave your skates, Inori? Oh god. The stress I'm feeling right now is more intense than when I watch a battle show. They're kind of expensive. So you did have them with you when you were on the train? Oh no, it's on... Just saying, if you put your suitcase somewhere on a train in America, you're never seeing it again. Ever. We would come by car, though, so... 10 stops away? Is that close? Or is that sounds really far away. Oh, not having your coach while you warm up is terrifying. Is that really fast? I don't... This is where I'm like, I know that the public transit in Japan is so different than here that this is... I don't understand how long this would take. I feel like she's gonna end up missing her 5-minute warm-up or something, and that's, like, the worst thing. Okay, that's 2 hours away. I don't like this. I hate this. She doesn't have that, like Tsukasa is an amazing coach, but he's also this, like, pillar of strength for her. Like, don't be second-guessing yourself now, too. I'm so nervous. No! This is not the time for us to be running early. Competitions here are always late. Ever. Like, I've never experienced a competition running early. Oh. I'm so stressed. Don't overdo it. You can't, like, you just need to warm up your body. You're not supposed to be building up stamina while you warm up for a competition. Oh, her dress is cute. She looks like Tinkerbell. Double Saucow. Very nicely done. Oh, 23? Is this the same group as hers? I'm just gonna say something really quick. It is such a bad idea, especially at that age, to watch your competitors. If this is in fact the group before hers, which I think is. If I'm remembering correctly, she scored a 12 in the most recent competition. 23 is really high for her level. And my coach always taught me this. When you watch the competitors before you, if they mess up, you get overconfident. So you might be like, you have so much confidence that you're going to go out on the ice and just think that you're going to be perfect, and that opens you up to mistakes easier. If they're perfect and they have jumps that are more points than yours, you start to spiral into thinking you're not going to be good enough to compete against them. So especially someone like Inori, who is in this stressful situation right now where we don't even have our skates right now, she shouldn't be watching her competitors. That's a great way to make her overthink even more. And it's like, I'm so stressed right now. I feel like I'm at a competition. Ah! So she is Inori's competitor then, because she tested to level 1. Yeah, just stay in your own little world. Run through your program in your head, but don't overdo it with your jumps off the ice. Believe in yourself. It's the only thing you can do. The sport is so mental. You have to have confidence in yourself. Why am I tearing up that he's back? He ran like the entire way. They're here. Put them on! Oh, the drama. Oh, come on. I can't even form a sentence right now. Oh my god, she's not there. Nothing like a good hearty run before you get on your warm-up. That takes up a lot of stamina. Whew. I like have butterflies in my stomach again. Yeah. That is the absolute hardest part when you are skating young, and it should happen to everyone. When you start to grow and you have like big growth spurts, not only has your body changed, so your center of gravity is changing, and that can cause you to like straight up lose jumps that you land. Like you could be landing a double loop consistently and even have landed it in competition, but then you grow a little bit and suddenly everything about your technique is not working for you anymore because your body changed so much. And then on top of that, growing pains can truly keep you off the ice for a long time, especially if they're intense growing pains, and they can cause injury. That like there's so much that can happen, and that's the hard part. I talk so much about the age within figure skating and how you have to start young to be successful. Maybe that's all just a conspiracy that I just follow because that's what I was taught. Because if you start after, you know, a little bit of time so you don't grow as much, you can just go through everything and not have to go through those phases of having to relearn something because of a body change or that sort of thing. So it is something about when you're starting super young and you consistently grow, that can really affect the way you jump and the way you skate in general. And it's not just the pain, it's everything involved with it. So it's interesting that they bring that up because I don't know exactly where the sentence is going. I just wanted to give that little tidbit that it's something that gets overlooked a lot. A lot of coaches will ignore a skater when they say like I'm growing, that like I'm having growing pains. Unfortunately, a lot of coaches will just say kind of suck it up and figure it out. Like we skate through pain all the time, so just do that now. So I'm really liking this coach. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now because it seems like he truly cares about the health and wellness of his skaters as well, which I really appreciate. She's failed tests. I only failed one test in my life. I was very proud of myself for only failing it once. It was the last one, too. I almost got through all of them without ever failing, and I was sad. There's definitely such thing as overpracticing. I've kind of touched on it a little bit, but there comes a point where you exhaust yourself both physically and mentally. The warm-up, the 5-minute warm-up before competing was always more nerve-wracking for me. I always hated that more than just competing. It uses so much stamina, too. That's not the end of the episode. Okay. I was like, that isn't already the end. It's so quiet, too. They only start playing music once you get in the, like, international levels. Nice! A good double loop, yep. Now, sometimes if you have a really good warm-up, though, sometimes the program can go poorly. Usually if I had a not great warm-up, I'd actually skate better in the competition. Is he there to watch her? Alright, well, we didn't have as disastrous of a warm-up as last time. But I'm wondering, because we had a disastrous warm-up and then skated well. Are we... Yeah. She's gonna stay on the ice while the others get off. Okay. What we got here? Yeah, say that was a single double combo. That happens in lower levels. Yep. Yeah. Jeez. I forgot that this is technically a higher level than what Inori competed in last time, so it makes sense that they'd be higher scores. I like how they mix up. There's so many small details in this because if you look at her skates, they're tan. It's because she has over-the-boot tights on, while some skaters don't have that. Ooh, she landed right in that. Yeah. While other skaters just have their skates. That's very common. You have some skaters with over-the-boot tights, while some skaters under the boot. It's just like a fun little detail. Oh. That's a big combo. Alright, you gotta score 23 points as well. Is her double Salchow consistent now? This is a very competitive group, it seems. See, now she has just her white skates on, like I was saying earlier. She's wearing under the boot tights. At the high level, they prefer, you'll see a lot less over the boot tights because most people like to have the white boots. Double toe, a nice spiral. Good flexibility. Now point your toe a little bit more. Her dress is pretty. Is she gonna fall? Oh? No. I thought they were like building up for her to make a mistake. Oh no, that's the worst. They're all in the 23. I take back what I said. I don't want Inori to not win. I want her to win this again. She seems really like calm and happy, so I don't think we're gonna see her skate. I'm gonna have to wait a week to see her skate, aren't I? I don't want to. Don't be making these decisions right now. But what were their spins? Because at your level, spins are worth more than double jumps. Good job, Tsukasa. Yes. And with your spins. Get that. Get higher grade of execution. Get your spin levels. And skate. Just perform. You don't have to, like, throw something out that you're not consistent in. Because then you're gonna, like, possibly mess up and then... Alright. I'm gonna have to wait a week. I already know. Oh. I've done that. I've definitely done that. It's so embarrassing. It reminds me of when Ashley Wagner skated a clean short program at Worlds and then started jumping up and down and fell right down. But it was after the program ended, so it didn't matter. It happens, you know? Ice is slippery. I know, this is like... Yeah, she has no room for error because of how well everyone's skating. I have to wait till next week, don't I? I don't want to wait till next week. Where can I get the manga? I'm kidding. Oh my gosh. My goodness. Okay, well that was episode 8. That was the most stressful experience I've had in my life. Okay, I have thoughts. I don't know if you can see my dog. Let's see here. She's just hanging out right. Hello? There you are. Hi. Mika. Say hi. So first of all, the whole skate disaster. That can definitely happen. Now, I mentioned a couple times, it's a little bit different here because in America, everyone drives everywhere they go. There's not really a public transport system that works very well. It's really only in like very dense city areas like Los Angeles and New York. And even in Los Angeles, it's not as common to use it as New York. I think New York is one of the only cities in America in general where you'll find a lot of people who don't own cars and rely on the public transit system. And even then, I've never been to New York, so I'm speaking on complete just what I hear, but I hear that the public transit system in New York, while a lot of people rely on it, it kind of sucks. You can forget your skates, but in America, the more likely thing that would happen is if you left them at home, or if you're traveling, you left it at a hotel. So it might not be quite as stressful if you leave it at the hotel, because you can just drive to the hotel and come back. But if you leave it at home, depending on how far away you live, that's a problem. And that can mean you're just not going to be able to compete. Also, just the idea of having your coach go and get it, and then you not having your coach with you while you warm up. So as we saw, Inori was like watching her competitors and freaking out over it and doing a lot of extra running and like tiring herself out. You know, when you don't have your coach, especially for someone like Inori who's such a young skater and so new at this is only her second competition. You don't have your coach to tell you what to do. You're gonna like go crazy. And it's terrifying to not have that pillar of just like calmness, especially because in Inori's case, like Tsukasa is that just like calm person in her life that she needs. So glad we got the skates. Super stressful to go out there right after you get them, but she seems really, really calm. I'm a little bit nervous because we're seeing these skaters throw out these really difficult jumps. We've seen double toe loops, double combos, which are worth a lot of points. And I've only seen Inori land a double loop. So obviously we've talked about how it seems like when it comes to her going through the jumps and learning each one, they are skipping over a lot. And whatever, you know, like it's an anime, it's not real life. So there's gonna be aspects to it that just don't feel realistic to me as a figure skater because I know how much time it takes to land a lot of these jumps. But I'm definitely nervous about, I don't know, the way they're building this up. I feel like this is either gonna go extremely well or extremely not well. So I'm definitely nervous for next week and what we're gonna see. But this episode was stressful. Very, very stressful. I am very glad that Tsukasa was like, nope, we're gonna do what you've been planning. It's not a good idea to just, right before you go out there, be like, I'm gonna do a harder jump because my competitors are doing a harder jump. You have to trust in what you can do. And in the case of Inori, I found it interesting that the skaters leading up to it, we didn't really see them spin. I feel like they focused on the jumps. Spins are so important at Inori's level because they are worth more points than a double combo. So you want to make sure that you're getting your spin levels if you're getting a level 2, level 3. Now, in America, the lower levels cut off the highest level you can get. Usually, I think around the level she's at, we kind of level 2 or 3 is the cutoff. You can't get a level 4 yet, but that's more of a specific US rule, so I'm not exactly sure how it goes here. But if you get a level 4 combination spin, my coach rammed it into our heads. A level 4 combination spin is worth more than a double something combo. Like, it's worth a lot of points. That you can use to your advantage, and then get that grade of execution. Skate even smoother and stronger than the other skaters. And even if you do something that's maybe not quite as difficult as what they did, you perform what you have well, the judges will reward you.
それでは今日出てきた英単語を振り返ってみましょう。
Odd。
この単語には主に2つの意味があります。1、奇妙な、変わったという意味で、普通とは違うものや違和感を感じることを表します。2、奇数のという意味で、数学の文脈で使われます。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
There's something odd about his behavior today.
彼の今日の行動には何か奇妙なものがある。
3 is an odd number.
3は奇数だ。ちなみにオッドタクシーというアニメがありましたが、あのタイトルの意味は奇妙なタクシーということになりますね。もちろん、主人公の名前ともかけています。興味のある人は見てみてくださいね。
All over the place.
この表現は物理的にも比喩的にもめちゃくちゃな、あちこちに散らばっていることを意味します。散らかった部屋や話がまとまらない時などに使われます。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
Her thoughts were all over the place during the presentation.
彼女の考えはプレゼン中にまとまりがなかった。
There were papers all over the place in his office.
彼のオフィスには紙があちこちに散らばっていた。緊張しちゃうとフィギュアスケートでも技がめちゃくちゃになっちゃうみたいですね。私は緊張するときは、まあ命までは取らないよ。と半ば諦めることを意図的にします。大丈夫、生きてる。
Public transit.
この単語はバス、電車、地下鉄などの公共交通機関を指します。特に都市部で移動する際の交通手段としてよく使われます。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
Many people rely on public transit to get to work.
多くの人が仕事へ行くのに公共交通機関を利用している。
Public transit is often cheaper than driving.
公共交通機関は車を運転するよりも安いことが多い。私もアメリカのロサンゼルスに1年ほど住んでいたことがありますが、利用したことのある公共交通機関はバスのみです。しかし、移動のほとんどは車の運転でしたね。アメリカはとにかく、車の運転が必須なので大変です。
Second guess.
この単語は、後になって自分の判断を疑う、考え直すことを意味します。決定をした後に本当にこれで良かったのかと悩むときによく使われます。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
I always second guess my decisions after making them.
私は決断を下した後で、いつも考え直してしまう。
Don't second guess yourself, just trust your instincts.
自分を疑わずに本能を信じなさい。祈りはスケート靴をなくしていますが、あれこれ考えてもしょうがないので、とりあえずウォーミングアップをしていましたね。考えるよりもまず行動。これってすごく大事なことですね。
Overconfident.
この単語は、自信過剰な、過信していることを意味します。実力以上に自信を持ちすぎて失敗するリスクがある状況で使われます。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
He was so overconfident that he didn't prepare for the test and failed.
彼は自信過剰すぎて試験の準備をせずに落ちてしまった。
Being confident is good, but being overconfident can lead to mistakes.
自信を持つのはいいことだが、自信過剰だとミスにつながる。自信過剰になる、つまりは調子に乗る、ということですね。人間いろいろとうまくいっているときは、ついつい調子に乗ってしまうときがありますね。そういうときは人にも嫌われやすいので気をつけましょう。
Overthink.
この単語は考えすぎることを意味し、シンプルな決断や出来事について必要以上に悩むときに使われます。心配性な人や不安を感じやすい人がよく陥る状態を表します。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
Stop overthinking and just go with your gut feeling.
考えすぎるのをやめて本能に従いなよ。
She tends to overthink every little detail.
彼女は些細なことまで考えすぎる傾向がある。祈りはスケート靴をなくしていろいろと考えすぎていましたね。考えてもしょうがないので、とりあえず行動あるのみです。さっきも同じことを言った気がしますが、きっと気のせいですね。
Conspiracy.
この単語は、複数の人が密かに計画する陰謀や共謀を意味します。政治や犯罪、都市伝説などの文脈で使われることが多いです。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
Some people believe in conspiracy theories about the government.
政府に関する陰謀論を信じる人もいる。
The police uncovered a conspiracy to commit fraud.
警察は詐欺を行う陰謀を暴いた。世の中にはいろいろな陰謀が渦巻いていますが、私としてはそのどれもあまり関わりたくないと思っています。怖い陰謀に関わったところで、私の幸せが奪われるだけな気がするからです。何を言ってるんでしょうか、私は。
Disastrous.
この単語は、悲惨な、壊滅的なという意味で、非常に悪い結果をもたらす出来事や失敗を表します。災害、ビジネスの大失敗、スポーツでの惨敗などに使われます。こちらがその英単語を使った例文です。
The hurricane had disastrous effects on the coastal town.
そのハリケーンは沿岸の町に壊滅的な影響を及ぼした。
His poor planning led to a disastrous business failure.
彼のずさんな計画が悲惨なビジネスの失敗を招いた。今回の大会はどの選手もレベルが高くて、壊滅的な失敗をするような選手は今のところいませんでしたね。いのりちゃんがそういう失敗を来週しないかどうか、本当に今からヒヤヒヤしちゃいます。